Happy Hump Day and welcome into the PHNX Sun Devil Show, brought to you by the DraftKings Sportsbook app, America's top-rated sportsbook app. Don't forget to leave a like, drop a comment, subscribe, even leave a 5-star review wherever you get your podcasts. I'm Anthony Totri, joined as always by Shawn DePaz, Shane Diefenbach.
Yeah, I am.
Gents, how's your hump day gone so far?
Good. For some reason I didn't look at you before the show, I guess, or just didn't take in what you were wearing. And when I looked at the screen, I thought you were wearing an all pink jumpsuit.
That would go crazy.
We're all very coordinated today. We're all wearing like khaki type pants.
Yeah, different hoodie, different colored hoodies and black hats.
This is hoodie season.
He missed the white shoe comp.
It's hoodie season.
Though.
He always just got to be different.
Yeah,
you got to do his own thing. Your shoes though are venturing past the color white at this point.
Yeah, that's fair. No, these are old. These were my work shoes for a long time.
Hey, the bottom of yours aren't any better.
That's fair.
You got yellow on.
Hey man, don't come at me.
Hey,
I do before we get on to the discussion that we've got today. I want to give Shawn some shit. Okay. So Shawn, as we know, big anti-New Year guy.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
And you can. This is fair.
I don't think it's fair, but I understand why you're saying.
Okay, Shawn, big anti-New Year guy.
Yeah.
When we did Hot or Not New Year, he was bitching about it. How it's just because it's a New Year doesn't mean you should wait to change yourself. Blah 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 blah. So what does Shawn do the first week of the New Year? Explain to everybody how your life has changed over the course of the last 4 days.
You're being way too dramatic here.
I don't think
It's been 2 straight days where I have had breakfast, and I've made myself my own tea instead of going to buy it. Which, first off, the
New Year,
new Shawn.
First off,
Shawn the resolution.
Okay. It's been 2 days. Subtract 2 days. That's January.
Do you feel better about yourself?
So it's been January 4th and 3rd. What was I doing the first 2 days of the year?
Better than me?
No, that's my point.
I think he does.
I think he does.
He does.
Okay. No, let me tell you that.
You should have seen the way he was like caressing this fucking metallic cup in his
better.
hand.
Did you see he made a promo graphic for himself that he's on the show as a guest today? He's not even part of it. Yeah.
I don't even. Now we're just
Shawn DePaz, 2 p.m.
Welcome to Fox News. We're just lying to people now.
Whoa.
What are we doing?
Hey man, I'm not trying to get political.
I'm not getting political. I'm just telling the
news
truth.
Isn't politics. What are you talking about?
You're right. That's my bad. Well, while we're talking about imaginary shit, let's talk about Arizona State football. Let's see if they can cook up a season similar to what Tulane did this past season. We had our lovely general manager Saul.
Yeah. Can we just acknowledge the fact that we have an audience now?
Can we just acknowledge the fact that Espo sounded like a goblin just now? I've stolen your gold.
That's crazy.
What are we doing?
That's crazy.
No, it's not. Gold.
No,
gold
you tried to steal a leprechaun's
gold.
No, they have the gold. You're trying to steal it from them. They steal your Lucky Charms, maybe.
They craft it.
Lucky Charms go crazy. Han in the chat, ASU should hire Kingsbury the second he is fired.
I've done had
Stop
been
it.
said.
No.
He'd be a great quarterbacks coach in college.
No. Well, I don't want him. He can go fuck himself. He's ruined.
He's got a great track record of college quarterbacks. He got 3 quarterbacks to the NFL.
That's fine. He also got fired from Texas Tech. He's going to get fired from the Cardinals.
Yeah. Did I say he should be our head coach? No, I said he should be a quarterback coach. I think he'd be very good at that.
Why would you want a shit coach on your roster?
Because he's not a shit coach. He's a shit NFL head coach. He's a great college quarterback.
You could probably coach well if you had Patrick Mahomes as the quarterback as well at Texas Tech.
But he didn't. That's the thing. So hold on a sec.
He's great at developing quarterbacks.
Mahomes won in the first round.
He's great at developing college quarterbacks.
He's fun on Hard Knocks.
Is he?
Is he fun?
Yeah.
He's a fun guy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That stuff with Trey McBride was great.
Okay. Tulane and Arizona State.
Sure.
Okay. One is trying to be like the other this season. Tulane had probably the greatest turnaround in college football history over the course of the last year, going from 2-10 to 12-2. We know they overcame like a 12 to 14 point deficit against USC to end up winning a New Year's Six game. Something that nobody really thought was even possible. I wasn't giving them a chance, especially with Caleb Williams on the other side. But that crazy turnaround, we know how ASU has kind of taken over their own offseason here in Tempe, having the most transfers of anybody in Division I football. They got their guy, Kenny Dillingham, built a phenomenal staff. What's it going to take, or I guess, is it even possible, do you guys think, to have a turnaround like Tulane in that 1 year?
Well, you would have to have an even worse year than you had this year. You'd have to go 2-10 before you did that to have that type of turnaround. I mean, making a New Year's Six bowl, what would it take? It would take exactly what we thought, but on the highest level. Getting a couple guys that you wouldn't think ASU would have gotten, like that. We even think ASU can't getting big guys in the portal on actual signing day, and flipping this around immediately, whether it be culture and not just the players or just buying into the team.
Yeah. The buy-in is the huge thing. Because, I mean, Tulane is not, they don't have a bunch of 5 stars. Like, it's not so much about, I mean, obviously a big part of it is the players on the roster. I mean, they had their running back, the performance that he put in is unbelievable. But it to me, it's a lot about buy-in. I was reading about an article from The Athletic about just what Tulane attributes the turnaround to, and a lot of it was purely buy-in. They got people to buy in, donate, so they could get a new facility, which allowed them to attract their head coach, and it's all of this stuff. Their running back, who was the best player on the team, talked about how he was playing. He was playing to get out of where he came from. Like, everybody on the team was playing for something bigger. They were playing in part to kind of give a middle finger to Cincinnati, UCF, and Houston, who are all leaving the conference. And they went to beat a Power 5 school. I think it was a big part of it was everybody playing for something bigger than just trying to win a football game, which, when you look at kind of where ASU football is right now, it's kind of what they're trending towards. It doesn't see everyone is playing for something more than just trying to win a football game. They're playing for the school, they're playing for the state, they're playing for Kenny, whatever it is. Like, it's all something a little bigger. So I feel like the buy-in is a huge part of that. And then also, another thing that they mentioned in that article, they sold out a football game this year for the first time since 2014. So a big part of it is fan buy-in as well.
Yeah.
So I it's not so much just the players on the roster. There's a lot of extenuating circumstances to it too.
Yeah.
Which I think is all accomplishable stuff for ASU. Getting people to show up to games, getting people like donors to donate. That's all stuff that you can kind of control outside of what actually happens on the football field.
I think the most fascinating part about what Tulane did this past season is, you could talk about, just the sheer difference in record, right? 2-10 to 12-2 is ridiculous. And then winning a New Year's Six bowl game against a Heisman winning quarterback, and arguably one of the most notable coaches in college football. But I think that the thing that sticks out is like what you said earlier, like, this is not a roster in Tulane that has 5 stars all over its roster, like an Alabama, like a Georgia, even like a TCU that was able to go get a bunch of guys this past offseason, right? So the thing that separates, I would argue, ASU and TCU versus ASU and Tulane, right, is that ASU doesn't have a bunch of those 5-star guys. Yeah. They don't have the realistic turnaround of going to compete in the college football playoff or a national championship game with a new head coach, even after 2-3 seasons, would be crazy. Now, if you asked Kenny, and Shane, you'd agree with it, Kenny would be the first one to be, why not?
Well, why not you? Let me play Sun Devil advocate. Okay. Why not, when a recruiting piece that got a lot of the players there is now at Arizona State? That those 5 stars that ASU doesn't have is now the recruiter that got them there is now here.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah, I mean, I think part of it, not to, I guess, be negative, but you look at Tulane, they have a slightly easier path to getting to 10-2 than ASU.
I'm not talking about Tulane. I'm talking about TCU.
No, but I would say the same thing applies for TCU. I think there's better teams in this conference than there are in the Big 12.
But are there, after what we've been saying? After what we've been saying as well? After what we talked about yesterday?
That's fair. I think so. I still think that Oregon, USC, Utah.
But TCU has some top tier opponents as well. The only difference with the Pac-12 is TCU doesn't have the opportunity to get upset by the number 12, 11, 10, 9 teams in their conference. Because they're worse than the bottom of this conference is, I think. But they still got to play some top tier opponents at the top of it.
For me, right, and to the point of the competition in the Big 12 is different than it is in the Pac-12. And I think this coming season specifically, it looks different, right? Because you have so many returning quarterbacks in Michael Penix Jr., who they won their bowl game. You get DJ Uiagalelei from Clemson, who Clemson was undefeated for the majority of the season, ranked number 4 for a while, right? You've got Caleb Williams, a Heisman winner, coming back. You've got Bo Nix coming back, who should have been in the Heisman conversation. You've got a 5-star quarterback in Dante Moore. This is without even talking about the potential of what Colorado can do, right? So my argument for why ASU has a more likely scenario to be a Tulane and have a Tulane season versus a TCU season is simply because when Pac-12 play starts, we know how much parity there is just in the Pac-12 alone. But I can't think of a time in the last probably decade where there has been any conference that has been this loaded at that singular position of quarterback going into it.
And another big thing with TCU is that they do not make the college football playoff in probably any other year in the college football playoffs history. Like, you don't lose the Big 12 championship. You could lose the SEC championship or the Big 10 championship. You don't lose the Big 12 championship and make the college football playoff most years. So I think that's a part of it too. Is you need help, I guess. And also the reality is the playoffs expanding soon, so things are going to change. But I think it's going to be hard considering the conference. You're going to have to be undefeated to beat TCU essentially. I don't think a Pac-12 team that's
but yeah, if you are undefeated, then I do think that warrants.
Yeah, if you're undefeated and you win the Pac-12 championship, you're in the college football playoff. I don't think there's a question. They're not going to deny an undefeated conference champion from a top 5. Yeah. But the Tulane thing, you're telling me that they're going to lose 2 games? They lose. So an interesting thing I wanted to bring up about Tulane is you look at where they were last year. Same quarterback, obviously a different team, but there's still a hangover. What happened last year with Tulane? They almost beat Oklahoma at the very beginning of the season. In almost the same way, they came a yard short from having a chance to beat that team, and then the season went completely off the rails. I mean, interestingly enough, against Lincoln Riley and Caleb Williams on the bench at that time. But and you look at ASU this year, the Eastern Michigan lost, and then everything falls apart. So I think a part of it too is how you start the year, and it sets you up for the rest. I obviously things are different. I don't think Tulane is going 10-2 last year if they just because they beat Oklahoma, but
also. What a lot of people don't understand, like, obviously you're not paying attention to Tulane football often. Yeah. You don't. Tulane wasn't 2-10 for 10 straight years. They had 3 consecutive bowl bids? Yeah, 3 consecutive before they went 2-10.
Yeah.
Like, is it a crazy 1-year turnaround or is it a bad season?
Yeah, I mean, look at ASU's the same way though. But they almost made the Rose Bowl.
I'm not taking away the New Year's 6 win. That's incredible. That's a great 1-year turnaround. But it's also like Tulane's been on the up and up.
Yeah.
They have.
I mean, you could argue that the programs are similar, right? Because to what you were saying, Shawn, right? Like ASU isn't known for having historically bad seasons. They have historically mid seasons, right? You're going to get a 6-win team, a 7-win team, a 5-win team, and they'll hover around there. But you very rarely get an ASU team that is as bad winning percentage wise as they were this season, right? So moving from, they had 5 wins. They had 5 wins this year, right? 4.
ASU?
Wins. Yeah.
3.
Did they only have 3?
Or no, maybe 4.
They beat NAU. We've done this
3-9
before.
Yeah. They went 3-9.
Yeah. So, but like this is a historically off year, right?
Yeah. Yes.
So it hits the theme and it hits the pattern of what Tulane
ASU had a worse record than everybody in the Big 12.
That's tough to hear. That's really tough to hear. Yeah. Goose in the chat was talking about ASU had a worse record than Kansas football this season, and really have no place to talk about the Big 12 being worse.
Well, don't even talk about Kansas. Just talk about what I just said. Like, Kansas is different. Jalen Carter is a very good quarterback. Yeah. Kansas is different. Or Jalen Daniels. Jalen Daniels, yeah. Jalen Daniels, yeah.
Not to be confused with
Jaden Daniels.
And Jalen Carter.
Or Jackson Carter in the chat.
Jackson Carter,
we have a great show.
Appreciate
Thank you,
it.
Jackson.
But yeah, like Kansas is a little bit of an outlier in the Big 12. Like, yeah, they've been a joke in the past. But just, again, they went 3-9. Nobody in the Big 12 went 3-9 or worse.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think anything's possible. I mean, yeah, like we were talking about 2 years ago, ASU was ranked at one point, right? They were in the top 25 at one point 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And they were like 2 halves away from a Rose Bowl. They had a bad half against Utah and a bad half against UCLA. Who was it? I don't remember, but exactly. But they were relatively close to being in a New Year's Six Bowl.
Yeah.
And I would argue that this roster is better, obviously better than it was last year. And it's going to be interesting to see how they compare to 2 years ago. But I certainly think it's possible.
I mean, it'd be great, but this isn't for tomorrow. This is for the long haul. This is what Dillingham wants to do in establishing a culture. Han in the chat saying it's tough to compete against recruiting in the South. Tulane is a big advantage over ASU. Yeah, maybe in the past.
I disagree.
Well, maybe in the past because they don't recruit well in general in that area, and in the South, a school from New Orleans or Texas schools sometimes have the advantage. But again, guys, this is the change.
Ooh, but I would argue that Tulane is at a significant disadvantage. You're getting leftovers at Tulane because all the good players in that region are going to.
Yeah, but you're almost getting no leftovers from the South if you're ASU.
Yeah, that's fair.
But this is what I'm saying. Yeah, he set us back, and Kenny Dillingham brought in 2 of the best recruiters in the nation.
Yeah,
you could argue it's the best duo in the country.
I think it is.
Like and this is an impossible situation,
and 2 of the best Texas recruiters, 2 of the best South recruiters. Now I think you have the advantage for sure.
It's an impossible situation to be like, okay, how do you determine how good a recruiter truly is, right? Because there is something to be said about the program.
Yeah.
Right. It's impossible to put every single Division I program on the same level. However, we've heard it from multiple people. We've seen it from kids literally with a week's notice, ready to just flip and change.
Was it Ashley Williams that recruited without even seeing the campus?
Yeah, didn't even see campus. Who was previously committed to
Auburn University.
Yeah. And, Tulane shows to me that you can, with buy-in, get a good team to be a great team. And I think ASU is in a position to do that. I think they're going to have a good roster. What's that?
I got to make sure you have a good team.
I think they have a good roster.
That's the
thing.
They
have a good start to a roster.
And this is something that I think last year we drank the Kool-Aid a little bit.
Yes, for sure.
Which again, we should have known. Herm was still the head coach. There wasn't going to be a whole lot of a season there. But this season, right? There's already the hype is amazing. It's great for the program, right? You get Kenny, you get the recruiters, you get the most transfers of any Division I team.
You get the starts of fans buying in again.
Yeah, but again, we've done this delicate dance of like there's got to be a happy medium, right? Of a team succeeding and fans showing up. Because when you're not going to get one without the other. I feel like
vicious cycle.
It is. But to your guys' point with Tulane, right? Like they had their first sellout in how many seasons this year?
Since the first time since 2014, they had a sellout.
Right. So, but part of that was how strong of a start they had to the season. So it's that happy medium. I think if ASU, wins every game in non-conference play except maybe that Oklahoma State game.
Yeah. But I mean,
they should.
You don't know what Oklahoma State's going to look like.
Yeah,
that's fair.
They're without their quarterback. So in theory, then you could probably, if you start the season undefeated in non-conference play, opening a Pac-12 play, you should have a sellout.
Are we going to get the battle for the rag again?
The battle for the rag?
LSU and Tulane. Is that going to come back? Because they stopped it in 2009.
I hope so. That's a good rivalry.
You see Brian Kelly eating Cheez-Its on the field?
No, well, that's awesome.
I love 4-5-4's joke. Where's Tulane? Just south of 3 Lane.
That is the most Max. Is that Max's burner?
It might be.
Because that is the most Max joke I've ever seen.
It really is.
My gosh. Yeah, Max. There's a dad joke in the chat.
Go ahead and read it for yourself. It's pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty solid. Before we talk about Connor Soelle and the fact that he entered the transfer portal, I want to tell you guys a little bit about 4 Peaks. We're just 9 days away now from the inaugural PHNX Tea Party.
Where is the actual mountain of 4 Peaks? It's just south of 5 Peaks.
Oh my gosh. I hate you. Presented by 4 Peaks at Dobson Ranch Golf Course, the inaugural PHNX Tea Party. Guys, we're renting out the entire driving range. Come hang with Big Drive Energy, the PHNX crew, and fellow diehards for a night of golf, free food, drinks, contest prizes, and more. Plus, our PHNX Suns crew is going to be hosting a watch party for the Suns and the Timberwolves. 4 Peaks is going to be out there providing beer samples and swag. Check the link in the description to reserve your spot right now. And for our diehards, check Discord for your special link where you guys are going to save 20% on this awesome event.
And I have heard
the streets
from the streets.
Damn, the streets be talking.
They're talking again.
They always talk.
They were quiet for a little bit.
Yeah, they were quiet for a while.
I am the mouthpiece for the streets.
Do they talk or do they whisper?
No. The streets don't believe in resolutions. They whisper to me.
The streets don't believe in resolutions.
Resolutions, yeah.
That's a Geno Smith.
Yeah. But regardless, the streets have been talking.
What have they been saying,
There's
Shawn?
a chance that there's some Burrito Express at this 4 Peaks event.
God damn.
But regardless, you don't got to wait until then. Go get your 4 Peaks right now. You got, if you're watching us live, you got
your Burrito Express right now.
Oh yeah, get your Burrito Express right now. If you got 39 minutes if you're watching live to go get your Burrito Express.
Pause.
I got locations all.
The video.
Oh,
Get in your car.
What?
Go get your Burrito Express now.
No, do it now.
But if you're
Welcome
listening,
back.
continue to listen.
They're back now. They just got the
welcome
burrito.
back. Welcome back.
Yeah.
Locations all over the valley. Go get yourself a breakfast supreme burrito. It's the greatest burrito of all time.
Yep.
I don't know what to tell you. But yeah, check them out. And follow them on Twitter at BurritoEXP.
Do it. And guys,
Burrito Express.
Get it
Get
in.
it in.
And when you buy a $25 Burrito Express gift card, you're going to get a free burrito too.
Oh my
Just saying.
gosh. That is free burritos.
Free burrito.
Free burritos.
Okay. Connor Soelle.
Got to take them off of the poster now.
Connor Soelle?
Yo,
Yeah.
have we ever talked about that on the show?
I think so.
I don't think we have.
I don't remember.
So
if it was
we
craziest
were-
thing I've ever
We
seen.
were right down the street at Cronkite, and there was like a banner for buy your season tickets now for ASU football, and it was Emory Jones,
Yeah.
right? Emory Jones on the left. Who was on the right?
I
Was
think.
it Merlin?
Jordan Clark.
Well, yeah.
And then in the middle,
Was
not Kyle Soelle.
Yep.
It was Connor Soelle.
It was Connor Soelle. It was I was very thrown off by it.
Connor Soelle, obviously the younger brother to Kyle Soelle, had 52 total tackles through 4 seasons. I believe he had 1 forced fumble as well. This is a guy that I feel like everyone was just kind of waiting for him to show a flash, to be the guy.
For hating Chris Collinsworth so much, you say this is a guy a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's Chris has
Here's
got it
a
stuck in my
guy.
head. Chris has got it stuck
Now
in my
here's
head.
a guy.
I mean, I'll be frank. I thought this was a guy that was going to fill the shoes that were left by Merlin Robertson and Kyle Soelle this
Yeah.
offseason.
Well, a bunch of transfers jumped into those shoes, and now he's
Yeah.
barefoot.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. So what do you think then about it's one thing to enter the portal, but it's another thing to enter the portal when your high school coach
Yeah.
is now on the same roster.
I don't think he's going. I think this linebacker group's going to be deadly, man. I think
Yeah,
it's going to be good. Plus, like this would suck. I mean, it does suck. Like he's awesome. Him and his brother were great here.
Great people.
Yeah, but like it would suck if this was the same team, same coach, same defensive unit, and you wanted to bring back a veteran guy, but it's not.
Yeah.
You're kind of rehashing this whole thing. You're kind of getting your new era of captains, your new leaders on the team, and it'd be nice to have somebody that donned that maroon and gold before command the defense, but at the same time, I don't think it's a huge loss in terms of a leader on the field.
Yeah.
Because he was, but I think you're able to replace it.
Jacob brings up a good point in the chat. It could be the change of defense. Ward uses a 4-2-5. Now, but see, this is I love it. But the thing that always threw me off is when Connor Soelle got here, he wasn't as heavy as he was. Like he always to me looked like he could have played safety here. But the old regime just kind of worked him in as a smaller linebacker. I know he's listed at like 6'2", 220, I want to say, but he wasn't 6'2". And I don't think he was 220 either. So he was just always a smaller linebacker, which is why I felt like he could have transitioned over into that DB spot a little bit better. But regardless, you lose a guy that's been on this roster for 4 years, right? You're losing Kyle Soelle, Merlin Robertson. We've talked about the losses on the defensive line. The big guys returning, right? Roe Torrance and Jordan Clark. Outside of those two, who do you guys feel can be that commander on the defense?
It's Jordan Clark.
I don't know if there is outside of those two.
And especially like I know we've talked about this before, but like just in light of everything that's been going on and how Ryan Clark was on ESPN,
yeah,
like that just shows you what type
he was raised by a leader.
Yeah, exactly. And
that's a good point.
We've seen the passion in him as well. We've seen him on the field. We see him never give up, and you see him playing hard until the very last whistle. He very much leads by example, and not only couple with that with how much he's played in the past couple of years, like playing almost every snap when he's healthy. I just don't think there's another choice.
Yeah, and I mean, we talked about him last year being a leader, and it was a little different because you had other leaders on that team. But now you don't have a natural leader on that team, and yeah, I think talking about his dad is a great point. Like he was raised by a leader, and so I don't think there is much of a choice. And now he got his degree. Like he is, I think he's a great example of who you should be as a student athlete on and off the field. And I think that's all you can ask for out of a leader. And to the fact that he has stuck through with this program through everything that they've gone through, I don't think you can doubt his commitment to the maroon and gold. I just think he is naturally going to slot into that leadership position.
I think you both bring up phenomenal points, right? Shane, to your point about him being raised by a leader, not only a leader, but a guy who played this game at a ridiculously high level. So that obviously,
and in relation to the Damar Hamlin thing, like a guy who almost lost everything himself.
Yeah,
he went through something like this. So is a guy who I'm sure instilled not just a love, but an appreciation for the opportunity in his son.
Yeah, 100%. And then to your point about just him sticking with this team, when in reality, he's a solid defensive back. He didn't have to be here. He could have easily transferred into a different program.
I'm excited to see what his role is going to be. I mean, you're changing a scheme. I wonder how much nickel they're going to play, because he played a lot of nickel last year.
I kind of want him to be, and this is going back to the old Charger days. I kind of,
Take a shot.
Take a shot, man, dude.
I feel like the Chargers. I
don't bring
Notre
up the
Dame is his thing.
often.
The Chargers,
and I haven't brought up Notre Dame in a minute, but like
which
Eric
is crazy
Weddle,
considering that our starting quarterback is about to be a Notre Dame transfer.
I forgot.
Yeah, just wait till we hit spring ball, boys. Do you guys remember Eric Weddle?
Do you remember? He played last year. He just won a Super Bowl.
Okay, but he played in.
No, I know, but yes, of course, I remember Eric Weddle.
He had some huge snaps.
He was important to that team.
But he is like, aside from when he was in his prime and he was an amazing safety, right? He had that on the field leadership quality that I feel like you don't necessarily see from a lot of defensive backs. Everyone touts the linebackers to be those boisterous, like, leaders of the defense, but that's the comparison that I see, right? Is you've got a defensive back who he's got the chippiness of normal DBs, but he also has that same leadership quality that I feel like most defenses get from their linebacking core.
Yeah,
I think he's a perfect mix.
I would agree.
That's why he played a lot of nickel.
Yeah. I just feel like he's so important to this, to the team.
Is that the best position in football?
Safety?
The nickel corner, isn't it? Yeah, I think it's just so.
In what regard?
Just like how cool it is.
I mean, being a wide receiver would be pretty dope.
Well, I mean,
I disagree with you. I don't think offense is fun at all.
That's fair. I can see why you might say that, but you get all the glory.
Yeah, I guess.
I will say I don't think.
Did you ever play football growing up?
Yeah,
you played offense.
Yeah, I played running back or receiver. I played receiver and safety.
Okay. Yeah, I just didn't.
I liked playing safety more because I didn't like getting hit. So for that part,
see, defense was fun because you always got to be the person that delivered the hit. I felt like.
Yeah, that's fair. I was more of a special teams guy. I was not a very good football player.
Hey, special teams
important. That's one third of the game.
Come on now, baby Vinatieri doing his thing. Yep. You know how it is. Jacob in the chat. Clark gives me Buda Baker vibes. Man, I'm here for it. As long as he's not getting chased down by a DK Metcalf anytime soon.
No, if he's getting chased down by DK Metcalf, that means he almost returned something 100 yards. I'll take it.
Almost? I'd rather you go all the way.
Well, yeah, but I don't know how many DK Metcalfs there are in the Pac-12.
That's very true. That's very true. But while we're talking about DK Metcalf, guys, I don't know what his higher or lower is right now in Underdog Fantasy, but I'm telling you, I would take the higher against the Rams after watching how bad that Rams defense has been this past season.
You didn't mention the biggest part. Jalen Ramsey. Him and Jalen Ramsey hate each other.
Jalen's been bad this year.
Yeah. Did you see what happened last time these teams played each other? DK Metcalf caught a game-winning touchdown off across his face.
I love it.
Let him hear about it.
I'm taking it higher every single time on DK, guys. It's easy to get started. Go to UnderdogFantasy.com or download the app and sign up with promo code PHNX. And Underdog is going to match your first deposit up to 100 bones. Guys, on their pick'em, you can do anything from NFL, NBA, NHL, even esports. So go get in on the action again, UnderdogFantasy.com or download the app and use promo code PHNX.
Yeah, and before we get into the next thing, I just wanted to bring up Jasper's point. I didn't see this. That is a big thing with the 4-2-5. You know, the two meaning two linebackers on the field.
Yeah.
It's just you're bringing in what do you have 4 already transfers, 3 at linebacker.
You got Tate Romney,
Crew Jackson,
Prince Dobra's an edge rusher.
And I think there's one more from Wisconsin's an outside linebacker.
Oh, Tristan Monday.
Tristan Monday is also.
They got a lot of just edge rushers.
Yeah,
I mean, I feel like it was just there was probably an honest conversation that was had, and it was just how he would fit in this team, how much opportunity he would have, and I think
maybe even if he was willing to slide over a little bit.
Yeah. Well, he might be sitting on a couch waiting for a call or doing some research, and you better have more furniture.
I love this. I love
Get
this.
comfy though.
Yeah, get
More
comfy.
furniture is the best place to get your furniture. You got anywhere from couches to chairs to recliners to little ottomans that Totri's putting his feet on right now.
You really had to put me on blast like that, huh?
No, I fuck around. I use an ottoman all the time.
Craig uses it on our show.
Yeah,
And it was Lindsay's originally.
yeah. But you can get all of that and more at morefurniture.com, or you can head over to any of their Valley locations.
Do it. More furniture. Get it under you. Jacob in the chat, Travion Brown. Totally forgot about him coming from Washington State.
There's just so many transfers. It's hard to remember.
Well, yeah, literally the most in the country.
Yeah.
Also, there was a graphic today. It's on 3, right? That does the transfer stuff. So they did a graphic of all of the transfers, or the programs with the most transfers, and ASU obviously number 1 at 19. Do you know who was on the graphic? You can take a guess.
What, Eric Gentry?
No.
Wait, who was on the graphic?
Who was on the on 3 graphic?
Somebody that transferred from Arizona State?
Nope.
The transfer to Arizona State?
Nope.
Do they have any relation to Arizona
Nope.
State?
But it was for Arizona State.
Nope.
DJ Uiagalelei.
It was a list of teams and programs that had the most transfers. Arizona State number 1 with 19.
Who was on the graphic? Was it Shedeur Sanders?
Close.
Was it
It was
Dion?
Dion. It was Dion. Dion was on the graphic. And the comments were like, if ASU's number 1, why the fuck is Dion Sanders on the graphic?
Classic.
Victor Kern, offensive lineman from Washington, just entered the portal.
Oh, yeah?
Honorable Pac-12, all Pac-12
Are
selection.
you using my ottoman, motherfucker?
Yeah, I'm done now. I just wanted to say that I was using it.
That's fair. That's totally fair. We had a discussion off air that I want to rehash here. And it has to do with the argument of fast food, not fast food, best burger, not best burger. But I am a big believer that Five Guys is by far the best burger.
Ever?
Well,
it's the best fast food burger. And I consider it
not
fast food. It is fast food.
Can you go through a drive-through?
Okay.
None of them have drive-throughs.
But Subway I consider fast food.
Let's
Can't go through a drive-thru.
consider it fast food for this conversation, okay? And here, these are the stats we'll rely on. This is what we'll do.
Well, we got stats for this?
Well, this is the criteria, okay?
Tom Brady, 6 stats.
How fast it is, because it's fast food. The taste, clearly.
Yep.
What you can get as a side, and the price.
Okay.
I think of those 2 categories, it is bottom. It is bottom
in which categories?
in time it takes
yes.
and price it costs.
I would agree. I would agree.
So how the hell is it the best fast food burger?
I don't care about those criteria. If you're asking me what the best fast food burger is, I'm telling you which burger is best. I don't consider In-N-Out fast food personally.
Wait,
you don't
what?
consider. Wait.
Excuse me. I meant Five Guys.
Yeah.
I think it's like I said
Do you
off air.
consider Subway fast food?
Okay, wait. Let's take the criteria away. Let's consider fast food. Is it the best fast food burger to you?
I think so.
Thank you.
I think their meat is seasonless.
Really?
Yes, their meat tastes like nothing.
But they get all those toppings for free, bro. That does it for me.
Okay, but now you're bringing price into it.
Not necessarily. You don't pay for any of those toppings.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. That's a factor because he's saying, "Oh, you don't have to pay
But
for them."
that's
So
part
it's
of
free.
the taste of the burger.
No, but that's not what I'm saying.
Nobody's like, what is the best burger?
okay.
And judges it just
But
based off
that's
the
not what I'm
patty.
saying.
Okay.
I'm saying he just said that he didn't want to compare price,
I understand
and
your
then he
point.
said it's free. So that's why I said that.
I think if we're just Shake Shack is better. Like if we're going just cheese and meat.
No,
Shake Shack.
but I'm not. I didn't want to just do cheese and meat. I was just saying price. You can have all those toppings. That's fine. But I think the best topping you can get is a fucking patty melt from Whataburger.
That's not. I think we're getting too.
What?
I think
territory.
that is. I think you're getting away from it being like a burger though.
Okay, then In-N-Out's way better.
Then Five Guys.
Yes.
That's cap.
That is
That's
crazy
cap.
to me.
That's
And
cap.
you could argue that the time difference is not even there because by the time you get into Five Guys versus
let's take away the time difference though. I think it's a
what
better
is better about it?
everything. Everything.
Listen. I am going to apply the same argument I apply for boneless wings and bone-in wings to this, in that In-N-Out or Five Guys, to me, even if you want to consider it fast food, does not really hit like a fast food burger. It's more of like a legitimate like burger. So if I want something shitty, like real quick, the In-N-Out is gonna like, sometimes I crave specifically McDonald's burgers. I'm not craving a good cheeseburger. I'm craving McDonald's burgers.
That's
Yeah.
totally
So sometimes In-N-Out is going to hit differently than Five Guys. But if you're giving me a patty of ground beef on a bun with toppings on it, I think Five Guys gives you a better product.
But I so disagree.
See, I think In-N-Out's mid.
Okay, that's
I
fine.
agree.
I just think.
Five Guys should be.
I'm here.
I think Five Guys. I think Five Guys' meat is just it tastes like nothing. It's
now we can't have Five Guys.
Yeah,
well,
but I agree for In-N-Out.
It's a vehicle for the toppings.
But I think In-N-Out's the same way.
No, In-N-Out's meat is so good.
I have no interest in an In-N-Out burger if it's not animal style.
Yes, exactly.
I don't get my burgers animal style.
You're just insane.
No, the toasted bun.
Smash Burger goes crazy too.
I've never had Smash Burger, so I can't speak to that.
Smash Burger.
I would argue though that if we're having the conversation of fast food,
Smash Burger and Five Guys are the same thing.
No, they are not. Smash Burger is.
You're saying Five Guys is more less fast food than
Five Guys is more fast food than Smash Burger. Yes,
you get your Smash Burger way faster. The Smash Burger is done because they smash the burger so it cooks faster.
Aaron brings up Culver's. That's an argument.
Can we all get on the same page about one of the worst fast food burgers of all time?
Sure.
White Castle?
Yeah, White Castle is garbage.
Shit. Yeah.
I don't know why
Terrible.
that's a thing. They love that shit in the Midwest.
Terrible. Yeah, because the Midwest has got nothing. Midwest,
but they sell the fucking
the
frozen ones.
Yeah, but the Midwest is the same.
Leah,
is the same place that got
Can we do a poll?
Skyline Chili is the Midwest.
Yeah.
Like shout out Grant House.
Just Five Guys in and out.
I think they're different. I think they're just they're not the same conversation.
Who has the better burger? Five Guys in and out.
Or Whataburger?
No. Well,
I will agree. Like if we are considering price and stuff, In-N-Out's untouchable. Like In-N-Out is the price there is
Chad,
flawless.
don't consider price, just taste.
The better burger.
Yep, just Five Guys or In and Out.
I don't think it's even White Castle's such a. I don't think it's a conversation.
No, Five Guys wins every time.
Five Guys is it's a different tier. It's a real burger.
It is the thing that bugs me about In-N-Out is how thin the patties are.
Yeah, that's fair too.
Like I don't want to have to order a double to get the same amount of burger that I would anywhere else.
Also, I don't think rolls get enough credit in how important they are to a burger, and Five Guys rolls blow In-N-Out out of the water. In-N-Out's just an average bun.
Yeah. I don't think it's even close.
That's fine.
But
I want to see what the chat has to say about it, to be honest with you. So
ooh, shout out Joe, Steak and Shake.
Steak and Shake goes crazy.
Does go crazy.
Yep.
It does go crazy.
Shawn, when Craig and I did a burger taste test on our show, do you remember what we chose? I don't. I don't
know.
remember
We'll have to go
either.
look back. I'm pretty sure I chose Five Guys or Shake Shack. Those are my two favorite.
All we did was a burger and cheese.
Yeah, I feel like that's the only way you can really compare. You gotta get naked with it and
naked.
Did
you have? Obviously you didn't, but did you have In-N-Out a lot when you lived here in like high school?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I had In-N-Out once in high school when I traveled to California, and my whole family hated it because they expected some terrific, life-changing thing. And like I said to y'all, people forget it gets so hyped up by West Coasters.
It does get hyped up.
It is a fast food cheeseburger. It's only going to be so good.
Yeah.
I feel like the reason to go to In-N-Out is you're gonna get the animal style fries. The animal style fries.
I don't get animal style fries. I get plain fries. Finally started getting them well done.
Dude, they're well done fries are unbelievable.
But I do also subscribe to the argument that if you have to have them change how they normally cook it, then they're not that good.
Look,
if you have to order special.
Max brings up a really good point. As
does.
an unbiased person, he prefers the likes of Burrito Express, Mountain Mike's Pizza, and specifically Illegal Pete's.
Freddy's does slap.
Illegal Pete's, guys. We are excited to welcome Illegal Pete's to the PHNX family. Check out their location off of Mill in Tempe. Plus, when you purchase $100 in gift cards, they're going to throw in a $25 one on the house. So you're spending money and making money at the same
on the hizzy
time on the hizzy and the hizzy. And be on the lookout for a few informal happy hours.
Is that on Baby?
Baby, it's in the hizzy.
On my cat.
Guys, they got some great hot queso. The strongest margaritas
around.
Moms?
Stop it.
I'm going Baby on Baby.
I can't.
You're going Baby on Baby?
I'm going Baby
on
Baby.
You can't go Baby on Baby live.
Go check out.
I just did.
Really? Put it away.
Oh, God. Shawn, you tell the peeps about Bad Birdie for a second.
Do you like my hat? Do you like Shane's hat? Then check out Bad Birdie.
Do you like Toe Tree?
The streets have again whispered into my ear, very sensually, in fact, and told me that it's the greatest. Yeah, I mean,
did they tell you to go Baby on Baby?
They told me to go Baby on Baby, and they told me to go Birdie on Birdie.
Wow.
Bad Birdie on Bad Birdie. The streets have said that it's the greatest. Yeah, the reason it was sensual is because putting on Bad Birdie is a borderline sexual experience. It is the fabric is.
You say some crazy shit, Shawn.
I would have never thought that's where you were going with that. I'm here for it. I agree with you.
Thank you.
Bad Birdie, a sexual experience.
It is a sexual experience. Maybe it'll get you one. Because you're gonna look real good in it. And you're gonna feel good, and look good, feel good, play good.
Whoa!
And that's on a hizzy.
That's on his
and that
house.
is on baby.
That's on baby. Check out
Mommy.
Bad Birdie at badbirdiegolf.com and use code.
Mommy.
That's on. Use promo code PHNX_sports15. That's PHNX_sports15 for 15% off your order at badbirdiegolf.com. Bad Birdie Golf, get it on you.
Get it on you. All right, let's see the results of this burger poll.
Okay, I'm ending the poll. Thank you for the votes. And the results
Democracy
are
in action.
The winner is In-N-Out with 62% of the votes.
That's crazy.
I just disagree.
We brought Freddy's. If you haven't had Freddy's, it's better than everything we mentioned, in my opinion.
Look,
Freddy's goes crazy.
There are bad preferences, for sure. When we talked about this earlier, there are. But when it comes to food, especially established joints like this, there's no bad preference.
They're all good.
But you could have Burger King. That's a bad
Burger
preference.
King is bad.
That's a bad preference.
We can agree before we get out of here, Burger King is shit.
You know what I've never had?
Chicken fries?
You know what we need to try?
Go crazy, though.
Chicken fries do. You know what we need to try? Shout out Mike Luke. A Del Taco burger. I know we don't want to.
And the Arby's burger.
You know, last
Arby's
time we
goes
had Del
crazy,
Taco.
though.
Arby's does go stupid,
Yes.
dude.
Emery Jones.
Do you remember the last time we had Del Taco?
Emery Jones.
I didn't have any, but yes, I do remember it. Yeah.
You didn't have any either. I just picked some up.
I mean, that was the last time I've seen anything related to Del Taco.
That's the first time I've ever had it.
Well,
Del Taco tacos, soft tacos, when you're a little drunk, they go kind of
just
crazy.
get Taco Bell. Or just heat up your leftover illegal pizza.
But
That's true too. I've once woken up with a half-eaten illegal pizza burrito on my bed, and this is a true fucking story.
Wow.
Woke up,
You
took a bite out.
Yeah.
Of course you did. Of course you did.
Before we get out of here, since we have a little extra time, craziest place you've ever woken up, go.
Ooh,
I can't. It's not that crazy. It would have just been a girl's room.
Nice, dude.
Bad
birdie.
Yeah, on this guy. No, probably the craziest place was in my buddy's mother's bathtub in high school. That was pretty something.
I have some crazy ones, but I've woken. This is the craziest one by far. I woke up in my buddy's apartment who was out of town, and it was on the ground level in like a small complex, and the door was locked, and I didn't have a key, and I had no idea how I got in there. Enter window open in the back. I crawled in through his window and slept on his bed. No idea why.
Slept on his bed.
On his bed. No idea why.
That's absolutely why.
That's insane. Yeah, I'm not much of a. I was never much of like a get so drunk that I don't remember how I got. Like I've never been in that position.
See, I'm not that guy, but like
it just kind of happens. I was definitely that guy.
It kind of happens. You've
a
never
year.
done that where you're sipping, you're buzzing, and you're like 5 minutes after or 10 minutes after you have what you think is going to be just an increased buzz. You're like, ooh, that was one too far.
No, I have, but it's just never led to me waking up somewhere that I wasn't prepared to. Because I haven't really gotten like that crazy since like freshman year of college. And back then I lived in a dorm. So even if I was going to someone else's place, it was also just in the dorm.
Dude, we haven't even gotten into that stuff, which I feel like we should at some point. But my freshman roommate in college was the town drunk.
Really?
Yes. They literally would grab his keys, right, to the dorm. And this man would be hammered and they would play fetch with him with his keys. And he would be on all fours.
So terrible.
It was the funniest thing ever. Shout out Kyle Dowd.
My freshman roommate.
Outing him.
My
he
freshman,
was 21 though, right?
Yeah.
My freshman roommate was a very good
old
guy.
Freshman.
We didn't really get along all that well because I was a little bit of a dick when I was a freshman. But he was also an a cappella kid. So he was just always beatboxing.
That's kind of sick.
No, it was not.
No, but like for a day, like having like a Pokemon.
Yeah, it wasn't. It was not
like
sick
a dog.
When Benjamin McLaughlin was beatboxing in my dorm.
I had a very cool roommate my freshman year. Shout out Max Rodelli.
We're just out here naming roommates. All right, guys, that's gonna do it for today's show. We appreciate you guys checking it out or listening on Spotify, Apple Music, or watching us on YouTube. Guys, if you enjoyed the content, give us a follow
Google
at
Play,
PHN
Google
or
Podcasts.
Google, wherever you get your podcasts. Really.
Or bootleg if you're bootlegging this. Shout out.
As Bomani Jones would say, leave 5 stars,
Shout
leave
out
4
1, 2, 3
stars.
movies.
I'm inclined to believe you are a hater.
Give us a follow at PHNX_Sun Devils. You can follow me on social at Anthony_Tochi. You can follow Shane at Shane Deef. You can follow Shawn DePaz at Shawn_DePaz.
Bad as always.
Yes, sir. We will see you guys for a ASU basketball post-game show tomorrow. ASU versus Washington State. But for now, enjoy the rest of your guys' hump day. Peace.